Okay, so why don't you go ahead and call up your sheet so that you can go through the tabs as well. Okay, and then I'll review.
So I've listed down the pros and cons for each type of uh, display,
Okay,
and
so
these are the.
first
Mhm.
of all, while you're on the, if there's something that you can do while we're talking that we already went over, you should do it. So what's the first thing I said, right, when looking at your document?
The center alignment should not be in the center, and
Right.
it should be in
So
the Word
meanwhile, the
document.
first thing that you should do when you go on to that is correct it
Okay.
while we're talking.
Okay.
You don't even have to do it that way. There's a simple way to do it. You just click on column A and then just go ahead and do everything all right
Yeah.
left. Yeah. Okay. So um okay, so let's review.
So the pros for LED are it
I
is
can read.
energy efficient. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can read. So the thing is that what you want to do is for your specific application, I would recommend, okay,
LEDs.
right. Now in terms of okay. Um what you might want to do is to show a comparison between how each of these displays look,
Okay.
right, with different types of media. So, in
Okay.
other
Yeah.
words, right, what's the media? There's graphic images, right, like our seal, which says one planet, one people, planet X kind
Mm.
on there. But then there's also text,
Mm.
okay, because what we need to actually do is see the difference as well,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
And the thing is, um, so that would be a factor as well. And then the question is, what really is the price differential
Mm.
between LED and OLED?
Okay.
So, and then when you say shorter lifespan, are we talking about, right, months, or are we talking about years? And when is it a moot factor? You see, just by having this information here, that's fine. But if you don't go ahead and put down concrete,
Okay. Quantify
then
those.
it's harder
Yeah.
to go ahead and make those decisions. So, in other words, right, look, what's the lifespan of the device, right? If an LED has a lifespan of 7 years and an OLED has a lifespan of 5 years, is that really an appreciable difference for us when we expect that, right? They'll be replacing it probably within 3 or 4 years
Mm.
anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So it's not about always, you know, we're going to go ahead and assign, let's say, point values to all of these factors and then add them up and see which is the one that has, the best points in range.
Mm.
Some things weigh
Yeah.
more than others,
Right. Right.
and you've got
Yeah.
to make a informed intellectual business, right, decision about which way you go.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So this looks real good. I want you to
Okay.
take it
Yeah.
another step.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me take a look at your manufacturers. We'll go through these one by one. Okay.
I did not add the manufacturers
Okay,
and
not yet.
membership
Okay, fine.
tiers right now.
And the
Yeah.
membership tiers,
Only.
not fine. But
Yeah.
your
No. No.
spreadsheet, in terms of how you set it up, how it looks,
Mm.
right? It's
Mm.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What happens sometimes when you do that merge in the middle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
always. And if you didn't have that merge, right, you'd be able to do it
Yeah.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So now let's go through display type. So the thing is, right, you should put in LED or OED, because we don't
Okay.
know. You don't want to do two different RFQs. You want to do
Mm.
one RFQ, right? And it could fit
Okay.
two different types of manufacturers. They have to tell us which one they have. And
Mm. Okay.
you're correct. You omitted that before, and you shouldn't have omitted it. And the thing is that
Mm.
actually, technically, you got feet in there. That means feet, right?
Oh,
The single apostrophe mean we don't want it
yeah.
that big, but you should put the smaller one first, not
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And you need a little explanatory note or cover letter, and you say, please, what I talked to you before, please quote for the following. And if your specifications don't match 100%, right, please
Okay.
advise, right, what the differences are, what yours are.
Mm.
Okay, so add note. Okay, now,
Mm.
when you say minimum display resolution, why don't you say
Mm.
what the ideal display resolution is? And,
Okay.
you know, um, let's see. And also, don't they go by like to a certain extent DPI as well?
Mm.
What's the DPI in terms of how dense is it?
Yeah. 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 So I have checked for 2.5 inches, it should be around 320 pixels by 320, and 3 inches should be 480 pixels by 480, so that it is clear. So I'll mention the details as well, the
So
DPI, how
the
much it will be.
in terms of, it's a difference between, right? Let's say RGB is 72 and PNG is 96, right? But what do they
Mm.
really recommend for graphics? They recommend
Okay.
PNG 96.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if we're having a display that is good for both,
Mm.
wouldn't we prefer the higher resolution?
Yeah.
Or you've got to say, right, is that something that we reserve for the higher level subscription models,
Mm.
the tiers?
Right.
You see, in other
Right.
words, can we turn it off in the free version where all they get is 72 DPI? The higher version, we give them 96 or something
Mm.
like that. Just
Right.
think
Right.
about that and see
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
can be incorporated.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. In terms of
Mm.
brightness, nits, um,
Mm.
what? All I know is that the best TVs now or whatever have what 5,000 nits.
Yeah.
But this is so small, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
So what is that the equivalent of? You see, to a not person who's remember, this is what we're going for the RFQ.
Mm.
How does any of this translate to what we go ahead and present to a potential client, a buyer? In other words,
Maybe.
if
Mm.
we were going to say, hey, right, this is a great display screen, right? It's got,
Yeah.
it's super
Maybe
bright.
compare it with our smartphone display resolution or the
Oh,
brightness.
okay. So on an Apple Ultra watch or
Mm,
whatever, right?
mm,
What's the knit comparison? That's
okay.
good.
Yes.
So put down watch, put down phone, and if it looks
Mm,
bad for us, we won't do it.
mm,
You understand? If it's a bad comparison because we don't come out ahead because people are spending $1,000 on their phone and they're going to be
mm,
spending $30 on this, right? We can't be expected to go ahead and have the same
mm.
screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Viewing angle,
Min-
160 minimum.
mhm,
So when we look at something, I'm just trying to get you to think,
mm.
okay? When we look at something, what's our viewing angle? What's in our perspective?
Like 170, around 170,
Are
I
you
guess.
guessing, or you can provide verification on what you just said?
I can check, but I'm guessing it's
Yeah, don't,
170.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And always
yeah,
preface it to me.
yeah.
Hey, I'm guessing, but I'm going to
Mm,
research it.
yeah, right.
Okay, and then cite your research. Um,
Mm,
okay, interface compatible with standard microcontrollers. Um, well, we're controlling this device through an app. So you
yeah.
put what the languages, right, are
Mm. Oh,
that
okay.
can
Yeah.
control this, not,
Mm,
so we
okay.
want to know what the languages are. This is
Mm,
programmable by, okay, what languages? Power requirements. Um, wouldn't it be really a lithium? Isn't it going to have like a lithium battery, like a 32 or
right. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
lithium battery?
Mm, yeah,
I
I
don't think
think
it's going
I
to be
got
plug.
this.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
refresh rate. Okay.
Mm.
Um, Mounting hardware, but you don't say what the mounting hardware is. That's the problem.
Yeah, I need to mention.
You got to say, yeah, and you should have a picture of it. You have a
Mm,
picture of it already.
yeah.
Um, okay, minimum requirements. Do we minimum requirements 1 year? Can we get longer? FCC certification, sample unit evaluation before bulk order. Okay, what's missing from here? There's something missing so far. Well, first, you don't have anything about touchscreen. You don't have anything about, protective coating, right?
Okay.
You don't have anything about whether the image goes, frame to frame, or um, what the border is. Um,
Mm,
we want minimal border on this thing.
okay.
Um, we want to know also what the thickness is uh, of it, without, without the pin. Um,
Mm, okay.
okay, and those are things that are missing that I can think of right off the top.
Mm,
Is it waterproof? Um, and then the big thing that's missing besides this is, right, how is this packaged?
mm,
Okay.
I have
So
mentioned that here.
we're
So mm, yeah, product quality. Oh, I did not. I missed it.
but it should
Yeah,
be a separate.
shipping terms and costs.
That's,
Maybe
that's
they'll
not packaging.
mention.
That's not packaging.
Okay, okay,
Okay, and that should be right. Almost a subcategory,
okay. Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Because there are
mm,
options on the packaging. In other words,
mm.
okay, I don't want to tell you on the packaging.
Okay, I'll do
I
some
want you to
research into it.
research it, and I want you to present
Mm, okay,
appropriate packaging options.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to eliminate things that are ridiculous, right? And and give several options. If you want to
Mm,
discuss that right now a little bit, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Sometimes
okay.
it's good for you to go ahead and off the top of your head, what can you think
Mm,
of? Okay, and
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of feedback because, like, when I do stuff like this, I can go boom, 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 boom because I can think of things right away, that are viable, that are
Mm,
whatever.
mm, mm,
But you might pretend you're in a meeting, right, with management, and they say, "Okay, Jadib, right, you know,
mm,
uh, we need to talk about packaging. What are your ideas?" And you go, "Oh, well, let me go ahead and research, and I'll get back to you." That's not a bad answer,
mm,
but a better answer is, right. Well, we've got this options, right? What are you thinking? But also, I'll research and get back to you.
okay, okay.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? There's
Mm,
always, the optimal way to go ahead and handle situations. And when you present for the first time to me, or
mm,
some or your boss or whatever, let's say you were doing this, and let's say they expected all four of these tabs to be completed.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and let's say you went ahead and turned this in, and you have a meeting, and you didn't do two of the tabs, or you did
Mm,
two and a half and it's not complete. You never want to turn
mm,
your work in with things that are obviously wrong or incomplete when they were expecting something complete without
okay.
saying right away up front, okay,
Mm,
this is what I've been able to do so far. I still have to finish the work on manufacturing, right? I'll be able
mm,
to complete that by such and such and get that to you.
mm,
But I just wanted to let you know, okay,
okay.
before we get started. That way,
Mm,
you don't let them uncover it initially and
mm,
and then give you the opportunity to look bad.
mm,
So
okay. Yeah.
whenever something isn't up to expectations, you want to bring it up. Don't just hope that
Mm,
maybe they won't notice. That
mm,
won't work well. Okay. So
yeah.
that's the way
Yeah.
you want to handle it with me. That's the way you want to
Okay.
handle it with your bosses in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound good?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So now, and by the way, when we have these conversations, I might go off on tangents, right?
Mm,
But I won't forget
yeah.
what we were talking about as the original. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything that you want to share about packaging now?
Uh, I actually have no experience in that, so I don't think I can share something right now, but yeah, I'll I'll do some research about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I generally would never say I don't have any experience, but I'd say blah blah blah. Okay, but that's fine. You can be honest. That's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, all righty. So let's go back. Let's continue now. So now we're down to quantity requirements.
Hmm.
Okay. what you want is you want quotation quantities. So we don't know what the initial order is going to be. The initial order might be 500 units. Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is that what you want is you want quotation quantities. So 100, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500.
Okay.
Okay.
So for each of the mentioned quantities, I need to have a
Quote.
price, yeah, code.
And
Okay.
what you can do is you can ask them for a price per unit quote.
Okay.
Okay. So in other words, it might start out, right? The 100 might be $3.50 per unit, right? The 250 might be, 325. The 500 might be $3. Okay. Something like that. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're looking for. Okay. The more we order, the less expensive they will.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Required information from supplier. That's number one is true. That's what we just talked about. Unit
Yeah.
price, right, at different volume, at different volumes. And I wouldn't even say tiers. Take out the tiers.
Okay.
Just S volumes. Okay. Lead time for sample and bulk orders. Well, they're going to ask you, like, how do you want it shipped? Okay. There's like
Okay.
17 different shipping methods. So you want to pretty much say, well, you want to research it. Okay. And then make a couple of recommendations. Warranty details,
Okay.
technical support availability, minimum order quantity, product certification details. Okay, that's all fine. The order that you have them in doesn't really flow very well in terms of, certain things should be grouped together and certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you might want to
Okay.
consider how those are arranged. Submission guidelines. And you can also request that samples of similar type items
Yeah.
can be shipped to, and then, you put in our shipping address. So when you give
Okay.
the RFQ, they can immediately send out samples. So
Okay.
in your email, you can say, hey, right, we want price quotes, but also can you send some samples of some similar type items that you might have done, right? So
Okay.
see, quality and things like this. Okay.
Right.
And then, you should have our address. Okay. 100% functional testing before shipping. Don't you want another zero before the dot, before the decimal and defect rate? Is it
0.05%.
Isn't it one more zero? Okay. What percent, if you add one more zero to it, okay, what percentage is that to you?
It's almost 0%, I think.
No, it's not almost zero. It's 1/2 of 1%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas the one that you had was 5%.
Uh,
No?
no, it's 0.5%. It's like one by half of 1%. This is half of 1%, right?
Okay.
0.5.
I'm still sleeping then. Um, quality control documentation. Let's see. I'm not familiar with the ROHS. Um, let's see, what else? Okay, so the main things are, right, determining what are the options on the type of display, getting the specifications more complete, and then what are the packaging options?
Okay.
Okay, so good. Now with the manufacturers, go into manufacturers. Okay. What do you want as your headings?
Name, website link, and mm, based out of which location or
Just say country,
yeah.
you can say city, country. You can capitalize these afterwards. No, you can't have them
Yeah.
you can't have them in the same field.
Okay.
Everything has to be in separate fields. And
Yeah.
city would go before country, but okay. Uh,
I'll
what,
change.
what else?
Mm, uh,
Okay. So,
contact.
yeah. Okay. So let me just, might be, I don't know if I should say it or just do it before you. I can probably do it just as a list. Where am I? Let me just do it. Calling up my Excel and let me share. Two hours later. Okay. So when you do your spreadsheet, first thing is, right, we only use serif fonts in our work. We don't use sans
Okay.
serif fonts. We use Calibri, generally 12 point. And regardless of whether you're cutting, pasting, adding information in here, you should always then select all and change it to what you want it to be before you ever show it. And you should name it,
Okay.
save it, and everything else, all caps, be specific. So the first thing that you would put is, right, RFQ. In other words, did they respond? Okay, you need to be able to go ahead and put a check mark in there when they actually respond.
Okay.
Then the next thing is company. Okay, and then you can put in you can put in um, email, phone. This is probably going to be a LinkedIn, excuse me, a WhatsApp phone. And you always want to go to your view, and you want to freeze the top row. So when you scroll, it doesn't move. You want to highlight the first row and you want to put it in bold. That's how it should look. Okay. Then you have first, last, if there's a contact person, right? If they have a title, okay. Website, which should be a link, okay. And then if they're on some type of some type of aggregator like, you know, Alibaba. Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is, this is the minimum that you want. You can also have, you know, that you can have the date. You actually move the date up here. Date. If you wanted, you can put in here, right? These are additional columns that you want. Notes. And then let's go ahead. This one I'm not really. You want to be able to see what's the status as well. Okay. And then you want to take, you know, all the RFQs that you've got, you can, you know, you can download them. You can put them in your remote file on your remote server as well, right? You can assign them if you wanted to get really technical, right?
Yeah.
You give them an ID, you know, in your file name, you'd give them an ID, and then in your document, you give them an ID. Okay, that's if you really want to get a little fancy on this stuff, right? But you might be looking at 30 different companies. Okay. And just because they went ahead and responded to, you know, RFQ post in Alibaba doesn't mean you're going to add them to this list. In other words, you can go ahead and eliminate the ones that you say that you're doing LED manufacturing and they come back with, you know, a plastic game piece. Okay. There's nothing to do with LEDs. Okay. Don't add them.
Okay.
If they come back and they have, you know, yes, we do LEDs and the size is, you know, 27-inch, right? And they don't do, right, what we're talking about. Well, you can add them because they're in the same ballpark, okay, for maybe future things, right? Maybe they do kiosks, you know, displays for kiosks. And actually, if you know, now that I'm thinking about it, it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and put kiosk manufacturers and this together in two separate RFQs, right?
Okay.
Because they could say, you know what? We do the kiosks.
And these both of them.
No. Both. And if we, well, the answer is yes, but no. If we give you, if we have you do the kiosks with us, we'll give you the displays, right,
mm,
at a cheaper rate, or we'll give them to you,
mm,
whatever, because it's not something we normally do, but we're willing to do because you're giving us the kiosk business.
mm. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, we might be able to catch more if we let them know that we have that thing also in the
Mm,
works.
mm. Yeah.
And you can actually say that, hey, if you do this,
Mm,
you're more likely to get this.
mm.
This is a
Right.
precursor.
Yeah. Right.
And then I'll give you the specifications for the kiosk.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
So we can try it the standalone way first, see the results, and then we
Mm,
can also go to kiosk manufacturers and give them both.
mm, mm.
See, that's a good
Yeah.
idea, I believe, because
Mm,
that will open it up just a little bit more for what we want. Because I don't
mm.
think we're going to find a hell of a lot of companies that are going to be doing what we're asking to do, because
Yeah.
everything is designed to go bigger and bigger and bigger, not smaller and
Mm,
smaller and smaller, except for phone components. And that's
mm,
the components and the watch components and stuff like this, right? But pretty
mm.
much everything in the screens gets larger and larger.
Yeah.
Another avenue to pursue are phone manufacturers, are watch manufacturers,
Okay.
right?
Mm, mm.
You know,
Yeah.
who does the screens for, Samsung, for Android, for Pixel, or whatever
Mm,
the hell it is.
mm.
So you might
Yeah.
want to research what are the top 20 phones and who are their screen manufacturers.
Mm.
What are
Okay. Yeah.
because you got low cost phones and they're still able to produce a phone for $99
Mm.
and it's a smartphone.
Yeah.
So you know that they're not paying $89 for a screen.
Mm. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is think outside the
Right.
the display to a certain extent so that we can get better results.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. And you made notes on this, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you have enough to go on now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be getting this recording as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I
Mm.
got to upload it, make it public, all this other
Oh,
crap
okay.
in order to give it to you. But yes.
Uh, yeah. Next time I'll also record this meeting so that I'll be able to view it. Yeah.
Okay. But I'll try to do
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
before too long. Meanwhile, you can
Okay.
start on whatever you can start on. And
Yeah.
crap. What else? So next time we get together, I want to
Mm.
give you access, or maybe I should do it this time. I should give you access to my Alibaba account,
Okay.
unless you want to set up one. You want to use.
Anything should be fine, I guess. Yeah.
Let's go with mine,
Okay.
and let's see if I can get in really quickly. Why doesn't this say all this crap? It should.
Mm.
That's really weird. That's really strange. I don't think that this is the right account. Hmm. I don't think that this is an older one. Oops, this is bad. This has the kiosks and stuff that I went ahead and searched for, but for some reason, it's not coming up with my ID and account. And I've got like 10 different email accounts, so I'm not sure which one I signed up with. I'll have to go ahead and do more work on that. So it's not coming up
Maybe
automatically.
you can go to the passwords of Apple account so that
Yeah, that's my
if
next step. But
yeah
let's see. I'm not going to do that while we're
yeah
no offense.
yeah no
Um, and actually, I've got something else to do quickly before it gets too late. So I'll have to go back to this Alibaba. So it's Wow Benjamin dot 16 things or Wow Benjamin. I've got different ones here. This says compromised password. Okay, I'll have to go and check what the best thing to do here is. Um, this has a bunch of different things on here from 2023, 24, but it doesn't have the kiosks. Okay. So we've got to go ahead. We might just have to start all over, which is fine. And then also on Alibaba, or on, we want to find, you want to go through and do your manufacturing, find your sources besides Alibaba, other aggregators, right, where we can submit. If you can find individual ones that say they do the small ones, the small LEDs, you can include them in as well. Okay. And then we'll go over that next time. Okay. Or the time after, depending on how quickly you get the revision done to what we talked about. Okay. So just text me when you're ready to go again. Okay. Good job on your first assignment. Okay.
Thank you.
And let's keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.